Previously on the Blockbuster Buster.
No more hesitation, no more mercy. And this will be the first of many. What the? You.
Power Rangers.
Ninja Turtles.
Sylvester McCoy.
John Pertwee.
DC. Marvel. I thought you'd be taller.
Nobody's taller than the last man standing.
Subject seems formidable, but plagued by unprovoked aggression. His pockets were full of weapons and lint. Incidentally, his jacket seems to have infinite pockets, meaning they're bigger on the inside. Note to self, ask him where he got that technology. Oh, and the hammer. I can't lift it. And according to my tricorder readings, it's a lot older than it looks.
Good evening, Linkara.
Oh good, you're awake. I've been dying to ask, by the way, how do you copy all the abilities and powers from the movies you see?
It's a simple glimmer, similar to the one that you use to turn your toys into actual weapons. Now, do you have any more curious questions for me before I drop you like a prom dress?
Just one. Why do you want to bust this movie?
Why do you care? I thought you were the resident comic book... What the?
Why do you want to bust this movie?
Never start with the head. The victim gets all woozy and then...
Answer my question.
2 reasons. 1, I wanted to draw you out.
Why?
Oh, no. Don't skip to the end. This is only the first act.
Fine, what's your second reason?
I'm sick of tiptoeing around movies just because they're classics. I figure I'd go to the source, to the beginning, to the first fanboy film.
I see. So you hate this movie.
Right.
So you probably wouldn't know anything about this movie's background.
Of course I do. It's based on the Batman television series from 1966 starring... You bastard.
Finish your opening monologue, you know you want to.
Fine. The birth of the fanboy began in 1966 with the introduction of 2 shows, Star Trek and Batman. While Star Trek introduced sci-fi to the mainstream, Batman did the same thing for comics. Unfortunately, the Batman from the TV show was not the dark brooding Avenger from the comics. He was a colorful, pontificating, campy cartoon character who was more of a dork knight than a dark knight.
But you're a huge Adam West fan!
That doesn't stop the show from being a pathetic and brutal misrepresentation of the Batman mythos. This show is responsible for introducing us to the Bat-Toozy. Why are we doing this?
Just go with it, man. Yes, I agree that the show was campy, but one could argue that it was based on the Silver Age of comics.
So
the Silver Age was goofy. Superman had a whole team of super pets. Batman had a zebra suit, and Flash had a treadmill that could travel through time.
Fine, I'll give you that. But that's still no excuse to base the first Batman movie on the worst version of Batman.
Okay, then I guess the only way to settle this is to review it.
Oh no, I see what you're doing here. You're trying to get me all nostalgic about the movie so I won't bust it. Well, that's not gonna happen, buddy. Instead, we're gonna have ourselves a deep-seated verbal analysis of this celluloid failure.
Yes, let's do that thing you just said, which is nothing like a review.
That's right, you hat-wearing happenstance. I'll show you who's a real rooster in this hen house. So our movie begins with our hero speeding out of the Batcave on the Batmobile.
You ever wonder how the bat poles work?
Promptly to the Batcave. And then, as they have done many times before, as Batman and Robin, courageous warriors against crime.
I always figured there was a changing room in between Wayne Manor and the Batcave.
But how did they change so fast?
Oh, they would change during the commercial break. You know, they would slide down the bat poles, then they would cut the opening sequence, then they would cut the commercial. When they came back from commercial, they were in their costumes.
I always thought there was an anti-time pocket between the mansion and the cave where time stood still.
Didn't James Rolfe already talk about this? And then they go to the airport to pick up the Batcopter. They keep the Batcopter at the airport? Why wouldn't they keep it in the Batcave where it's safe and no one can tamper with it?
Come on, man, that's no reason to get all bent out of shape.
Fine. So Batman and Robin fly into action as the citizens of Gotham City wave at them as they fly by, including a large group of bikini babes on a rooftop. What's wrong?
Nothing.
You're annoyed by this, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Come on, Linkara. Give in to your anger.
No! Women are free to stand on rooftops in bikinis if they so desire. It has nothing to do with the male gaze.
But this has nothing to do with their own desire. They're doing so out of the desire of the filmmakers. Come on, bust this movie. You know you want to, boy.
Boy, I am a man! And as a man, I am able to exercise some form of self-control. As should you.
Fine. I'll try to exhibit some self-control. In your face!
What is that even?
So our boys catch up to the yacht only to find that it was a hologram. When suddenly, Batman gets attacked by a rubber shark. But it's okay, folks, because Batman just so happens to have a fresh can of shark-repellent bat spray. Shark-repellent bat spray! Who the hell carries shark-repellent bat spray?
Oh, Erod, an unorthodox solution had to be taken. After all, that was no ordinary shark.
That exploding shark. Doubtless an unfortunate animal who chanced to swallow a floating mine.
An exploding shark. Almost an entire decade before Jaws, the first blockbuster. Fine, I'll give you this one. After the exploding shark, our mysterious masked crime fighters attend a press conference. Ugh. After which, Batman, Robin, Commissioner Gordon, and Chief Stereotype use their amazing powers of deduction to figure out which villains were behind the shark attack.
Pretty fishy what happened to me on that ladder.
You mean where there's a fish, there could be a penguin?
But wait! It happened at sea. See? C for Catwoman.
Yet, that exploding shark was pulling my leg.
The Joker.
It all adds up to a sinister riddle. Riddler. Riddler?
I got nothing.
Yes! So one of the reporters from the press conference arrives at a tough guy bar in the rough side of town.
Ahoy, Catwoman.
Imbecile, how many times have I told you never use my real name in public?
What? That's not Catwoman. Catwoman is Julie Newmar.
Julie Newmar had a scheduling conflict. She has expressed many times that she gladly would have been in the movie if the scheduling would have been right. Plus, Lee Merriweather did a great job as Catwoman.
Oh.
You know, sometimes I think that you whine for the sake of whining.
Your mother! This courageously colossal crossover continues after these messages at the same Buster time, same Buster channel. Hold on to the edge of your seats as this kick-ass crossover continues. So just refresh my memory here. What exactly is the bad guy's plan in this movie?
Oh, they kidnapped the commanding officer of the disappearing yacht, Commodore Schmitlab, who is also the inventor of the dehydration procedure that turns people into dust. And with this new power at their disposal, they will take over the world.
But they're not keeping Schmitlab in a cell.
No, they're keeping him in a room, making him think that he is still in command of his ship. What's wrong with that?
That's from Tintin. That's what the drug smugglers did to take over Captain Haddock's ship. They locked him in a room and made him believe that he was still in command.
So what? It's just a coincidence.
They're not even doing it right. Every time they have to send someone in to talk to him or serve him his tea, they send in the Joker. How could you not recognize the Joker?
Maybe the Joker looks like somebody that he knows.
Oh, come on. That's almost as stupid as hosting and producing your own show, and all of your co-stars are just you in stupid costumes.
It would be stupid enough to do that. Hey kid, you done in here? 10 more minutes.
Catch you later, alligator.
So Batman and Robin investigate the bell buoy that contained the projector that created the hologram of the yacht, only to find out that it's actually a deadly trap.
The fiends! They've converted this buoy into a gigantic magnet. Fire one! Fire one!
Torpedoes!
So Linkara, how did they escape the trap?
They reverse the polarity!
If I can just reverse the polarity.
I've reversed the polarity of the neutron flows.
Oh, God! Say his name! Say his name! There's nothing you can do to threaten me. Now say his name!
John Pertwee!
Yes!
What did you expect? Some kind of space rocket with Batman at the controls?
After evading the death trap, our villains hatch a new scheme to dispose of the Caped Crusader. This time, they plan to kidnap Batman's close personal friend, Bruce Wayne, and use him as bait to lure Batman into another trap. Catwoman once again dons her reporter disguise to lower Bruce's defenses.
This curtain which separates our countries is so foolish. If we could just contrive some way of getting more deeply involved with each other.
They're talking about sex.
I know.
May I see you home to that borrowed penthouse apartment?
He wants her to polish his batarang.
I get it.
It approaches a climax.
She's going to slide down the bat pole.
I get it. They're talking about sex.
Who's exhibiting self-control now, Mr. Man?
Tu madre!
So Bruce evades the villains and escapes. He returns as Batman with the intention of rescuing Catwoman's alter ego. But he finds a different kind of bombshell.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Oh, this is stupid.
Why, you think disposing of a bomb is easy?
Yes!
Try it.
Ah! Oh my God! Oh, I gotta get rid of this! I need to find a spot to get rid of it! Holy crap, I need to... Just let it go.
These balls are awesome!
So now that the trail has grown cold, the bad guys are kind enough to clue in the heroes on their next caper via two of the Riddler's riddles.
Well, you see, the Riddler has a guilt complex. I got nothing.
Our heroes need to get to the United Nations building to save the delegates from being dehydrated into dust. So, they have to get there fast. What vehicle do you think they should use?
The Batmobile?
Nope.
The Batcycle?
Nope.
The Batcopter? The Batboat?
Double nope. They go on foot.
Wow, those United Nations guys are as good as dust. I'll admit, this is an even bigger blunder than when he failed to save the Ice Princess in Batman Returns.
Hey, Batman, push the princess!
There's a scene that'll scar you for life.
I don't know what you're talking about. Don't judge me! So our heroes track the bad guys to their evil penguin-shaped sub, and a big-ass brawl ensues, complete with comic book-style onomatopoeias.
Those are words that are meant to represent sound effects.
Why did you just say that aloud?
As an expositional convenience for the audience.
I said no meta humor! What the fuck do I look like, Phalus? This guy looks like Phalus. So the villains are beaten, and all that remains is to restore the delegates back to their human forms.
What the devil is this? The captain's costume party?
But this furious fountain of failure continues to flow, as authorities actually allow Batman and Robin to perform the complicated experiment to restore the delegates to their human forms. WTF, mofo, why would they do that? Why would they let the weirdo in the gray tights perform such a precarious procedure?
It's not that bad.
Yes it is, because he gets it wrong. All the delegates end up in the wrong bodies.
Hewa, America, Chiwa, Sovietski Soyuz Perdi.
What? Gentlemen, in the interest of peace, you must hear me out. You must do Ratzin Shalom. Rat Shalom.
Well, it's kind of funny if you think about it.
Funny? Guano Man doesn't even take responsibility for his actions. After the mind swap becomes evident, Batman and Robin just bail. That's right, they just climb out of the window and rappel down the side of the building. The end. Ah! Hey look, it's Stanley finding a Kraken with a flamethrower.
Where? Wait! You never told me why you hated me.
Are you serious? You don't know?
Come on, man, it's the final act. You owe me that much.
You're always copying me!
Me? Copy you?
There you were, a well-established internet critic, all the while I'm fighting tooth and nail to get some recognition, which, by the way, is really hard when a comic book reading cretin is copying you.
When the hell did I copy you?
The UHF clip, your episode that was hosted by your female counterpart, and the Spirit review?
Did you ever stop to think that maybe those were just extreme coincidences, and maybe we just think alike?
I'm nothing like you!
See what I mean? You even chose a non-lethal form of defense.
Actually, mine has all the sonic waves turned up to 90 decibels. I could scramble your brains like an egg.
Okay, there are some subtle differences between us.
Look, I have to bust this movie. It's what I do.
It's not the only thing that you do. You also preserve pop culture and teach people about the source material that these horrible films are based on. Yes, this was the first bad fanboy film, but it introduced non-comic readers to Batman, it paved the way for much better films based on comics, and without it, there wouldn't be a Blockbuster Buster. So you have a choice now. Yes, you can bust this film and we can fight each other like a couple of idiots, or you can let this one slide and we can form an alliance.
What?
Look, you and I both have supervillains and monsters teleporting into our apartments and ruining our lives. Let's not turn into them, shall we? I would much rather have an ally.
You're right. I have enough enemies. Can I borrow your spaceship?
No! But if you run into trouble, you know who to call.
Well, I have places to be, monsters to slay, and movies to bust. Alonzi!
What a magnificent bastard. I wonder where 90s Kid is. He was supposed to be here like a half hour ago. believe we didn't even get a cameo in this episode.
There just wasn't anything for us to do.
Wanna go do some science?
Excelsior!